Well, hello, Noodlers. This is Paul Romero on Freedom Friday, the second best day of the session following New Op Day, of course, which most people don't think is such a great day because that's the same day that happens to fall between a Sunday and a Tuesday that most people don't like. Well, around here we love it because it's New Op Day, New Opportunity Day. But today, the second best day of the session is Freedom Friday because we get to wear Hawaiian shirts on Freedom Friday. And we get to talk about whatever we want. So I just want to say hello to everybody and get this one quick second here. Okay. Today, I don't know. I just had this. I'm on a morning call every day at 7 a.m. with one of my mentors who always has some very good street smart success information, business wise and and success wise, financial freedom wise, building a business, mindset, all these different concepts that you need to be successful in whatever you do, and that including wholesale real estate. And with that, I just want to invite and say hello to Mr. John. I know he's I don't know if he's on silent mode right now, but just go ahead and say hey to everybody there, Mr. John. Let them know you're here.
Good morning, Paul. Thanks for having us and hosting this hangout this morning. And I am here, and I'm not on silent mode. I'm just getting myself ready to turn my camera on. So why don't you continue on with your thoughts here?
I love that crusty old voice right there, man. You sound like crap.
Oh, excellent.
You're welcome. So this morning, Jeff brought up a really awesome kind of a little concept today that I think I'm going to share with you guys a little bit because it's a good little exercise. I happened to be working on a script at the time, a script for talking to sellers or potential sellers or unknown sellers at the time that don't even know they're ready to be sellers. But when the call started, and it was funny because I was actually role playing myself at the time, that as if I was having a conversation with this person, and then Jeff comes on the call, and his whole morning talk here this morning was about you yourself taking on the role of, well, a warrior, so to speak, but the role of a successful person. And he was relating it to comparing it to like an actor, a Hollywood actor. They get a script, and within their script, they get a character outline. So it outlines what their character, the type of person, and that their character is, and sort of the things that their character is experiencing, and what their character is going through, so that they can develop themselves into adapting themselves into becoming this character who has all the qualities of the person that that the storyline is looking for. Whether or not this person is a happy person or a sad person or a very excitable person, or if they got a lot of good things going on in their life or bad things going on in their life, whatever the case might be. But the actor reads this character role and then works over time to develop within themselves that I am that person kind of a feeling, so that when they go to shooting the movie, obviously the actor can step into their role and be the person that they want them to be, in the movie. So that's kind of where this whole thing was about this morning, is that, about you sort of being the actor and playing the role of a successful person, and, practicing within yourself to take on that role, so that when you go out there to do your business or whatever it is that you're doing, wholesale real estate, obviously here, of course, but when you go out there to do your business, that, you step into that role of a successful person, and you do what you need to do with confidence and the ability to, portray what it is that you want to portray to people. So it's kind of a cool thing. What do you think about it, John? Okay. John didn't like it. No, I'm just kidding. No, he loved it. So what he was talking about as far as the character outline, so to speak, for a successful person is these sort of 13 principles of what a successful person does on a daily basis, basically. And these aren't like, to-dos, like they get up every morning and do their exercises and all of that. This is more like a successful mindset of what they think and how they go about just carrying themselves and thinking throughout the day. And so the first thing was to have a burning desire of whatever for whatever it is that you want. And obviously in wholesale real estate, what we want is a successful business. We want to be able to be the kind of person who can negotiate and lead people into the direction that we want them to go in order to to create and build relationships and get contracts so that we can do deals. So this burning desire to achieve what you want is the first thing that you want to hold on to in your thought process there. And the second thing is, and these are probably two of the biggest, is that burning desire for your success, and then the faith in yourself that you can actually do it. That's where I think a lot of people are lacking, is the faith in themselves that they can actually do it, that they just I don't know, that sounds so hard. That's not like anything I've ever done before. So they have this very weak sort of push behind, how they feel about themselves being able to do something. So being able to build up that faith within yourself to push your burning desire is a key thing. And then I think the next one is sort of how you go about building that faith, and that is auto-suggestion. And for those of you who don't know what auto-suggestion is basically, when each and every day you're telling yourself, that you are this person or you're becoming this person, and that you have this drive to do what you want, and these are what you do. And that's kind of what auto-suggestion is. And I think that really helps to build the faith that pushes your desire. The next thing that he was talking about was to be focused upon having specialized knowledge. Not being the kind of person that says, I got to know everything about all this, but you know what? This is the one key piece right here that is, creates the most of my success, is this one key piece right here, and focusing and becoming a master of that one piece, because you can always get other people to help you with, the other pieces that are in play. So the focusing on specialized knowledge. The next one, and this one I think is really huge too, is imagination, because you really need to have an imagination to see yourself as the successful person that you want to be, and also the imagination to see different things that other people don't. Being able to look at something in a certain way and maybe figure out a better way or a different way or something like that, where you can create really, a USP, which for those of you who don't know what a USP is, it's a unique selling proposition. It's what sets you apart from your competition. And having an imagination is something that can really help you develop that, which is a pretty important thing to your success, is having, something that sets you apart, that's going to make people look at, 15 other people doing what you do and say, you know what, I want him. The next thing after imagination was organized planning. And the key here, obviously, is organized, because you can plan all you want, but if you do step Z before you do step A, it's not going to work out very well. So you want to be organized in your planning, in knowing that, these are the steps 1 through 5, and I start with 1 and I go 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't start with 3 and then do 1 and then 4 and then 2 and then 5. It just doesn't work that way. So organized planning was another big one. And then the next one, this is really powerful too, because there's a lot of, I think this is one of the other areas where people are really really wishy-washy and weak about, and that is decision making. Successful people look at something, analyze it, deduce their deductions out of it, and just say, okay, boom, here it is, let's go. And they don't, go back and forth and, I don't know, is it right? Or is, do I need more information, or should I try to find out something else? Or, I don't know, seems too scary or whatever. They just like, hey, look, it all works out. There's risk in everything, but you know what? If you do it the right way, the risk is minimalized. All right, here we go. Let's do it. So decision making is good. The next one is persistence, and I'm here to attest to persistence because it is definitely something that nothing in life is easy, and if you're the kind of person who gives up at the first obstacle, then you're never going to have any success that you want. You have to be able to say, I got to be able to get knocked down and get back up again. What is that? I forget who it was that said that, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up again, So persistence is a huge key. The next one is the power of minds, multiple minds, and in other words, a mastermind. And that's really powerful in the fact that, especially when you are focusing upon specialized knowledge, well, guess what? Other people are focusing on specialized knowledge as well, too. And when you can pull in the key players who have the other specialized knowledges that go along with your desire, and you're all focusing in the same and working in the same direction for the same common goal, that can be super powerful to your success. The next one is sexuality. And there's a whole thing about sexual energy is one of the most powerful energies, within a human being, and being able to sort of control your sexual energy and transmute it into your business and your success drive just as much as into your sex drive is a powerful thing as well too. The next one is your subconscious mind, which is all about everything that you ever knew or thought you knew or didn't even know you knew is in there somewhere. And so the power to be able to sort of understand and know your subconscious mind and be able to draw from it the things that you need when you need them is big and powerful. The next one is that your brain is a receiver and a transmitter, and understanding and how to use your brain to the best advantage in sending out, the messages, the energy to attract the things that you want in your life, and being able to, receive them as they come in is a big thing. And then the final one, and I think I got this right, when he said the word, I don't know why, my mind just didn't hear the word, but I think he said belief in your own success. And that is, so huge. You have to, that one kind of goes back to the faith thing, but you have to believe in your ability to go out there and be successful. So the whole idea was, this is the actor, the role that you're going to play is someone who has a powerful desire to achieve something, believes, has the faith in themselves that they have the abilities to achieve it, continuously is telling themselves over and over again the things, the type of person that they are, the things that they do that are going to help them get there. They're focused on the most important piece of what it is that they do, and their imagination runs wild in all the possibilities that can allow them to get there. And they take it and they create organized plans to make it, to achieve that. And they make quick decisions, quick and powerful decisions, and they stick to them. And then they stick to them because they're persistent. They make their decision and they go and they stick to it until it's done. And they use the power of other people's minds to bring in more information and to build upon their information. They transmute their sexual energy towards their drive of what they want to achieve when it's needed. And they draw from the power of their own subconscious mind, the information, all the information on all the knowledge that they've ever put in there. And they use their mind as well, too, to send out the messages to the universe that they want this is what they want, and that they're open to receiving the information when it comes in, and that they totally believe in the fact that they are a success, whether they are or not at this point in time, but they totally believe it. And because they totally believe it, it's going to happen. So that's the role that you want to wake up and play every day when you go to start working in your wholesale real estate business. Because when you go out there and start to build a relationship or talk to somebody, if you're thinking, if you're this kind of a person right here, if you've built this, you're playing this role, your confidence and your ability to successfully lead people, as I talked about earlier, in the direction where you want them to go, is just going to, exude right out of you, to the point where people are just attracted to you and they want to do the things that, you want them to do. And so these are pretty fun little game here to, pretend you're an actor and put this role on every day, and then go out there and make some powerful business happen.
Absolutely. That was a great call this morning, Paul, and I'm glad that that's kind of what you're talking about right now, because I want to pull out two kind of elements that you talked about there. Number one being the final piece, which is to believe in yourself, which really, to me, is the glue that holds the whole thing together. You have to believe that you can be that person. So as Paul pointed out, and I think this does sound like kind of a fun thing to do, and this is part of it, imagination, is imagine you're an actor and you've got this role to play. Your life, you've got your life to live. So imagine, if you will, that you're an actor going through life. How do you want to portray yourself? How do you want people to see you? How do you want people to react to you? How do you want to commingle and interact with other people? Well, you get to play a role, and the amazing thing is you get to play any role you want. So why not choose a role of a successful individual with all of these various attributes? But no matter how you're feeling, no matter how you feel, you need to believe in yourself, believe that what you're trying to achieve is possible, and be persistent. And the reason I pull out belief and persistence is like two of the elements there that I think are the most important, is because I know from personal experience for both myself, and I think I can attest to this on Paul's behalf, is that it was our belief and our persistence that gave us the ability to kind of keep getting up again and again after you fall, because you're going to hit roadblocks, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to be faced with situations or deal with sellers who are asking questions where you may not know the answers. But you know what? Believe that you can get those answers. Be determined to find those answers and learn the necessary skills. And if it's a skill that maybe you're just, I really don't want to learn it, I really don't like that, I have other attributes and skills that are better suited to me to add to my business, but I know how to find people with those skills and those answers to those questions to bring in and help me to grow my business. Belief in yourself that you can do it, and persistence, I would say, are probably the two most important ones when it came to the success of Sell a House Arizona that Paul and I had, because we didn't know jack squat at first. I mean, for the first year, we were really just taking mud and throwing it against the walls and hoping that some of it stuck. And we did. We had some minor successes followed by major, what it seemed, setbacks. But those setbacks to us really were just opportunities to learn and to grow, and believing that we could learn the necessary skills. We knew that we just, going forward, you just know there's something that you don't know, but you keep driving towards that, trying to figure it out and be persistent and never giving up. I think those two things right there is, for me, as advice to somebody that's just getting into personal development, just starting their own business, just jumping in to learn wholesale real estate or network marketing, whatever it is you can do. Look at people who have achieved success with it. Believe that you could be that person. All that person is an actor playing a role, and you can play that role too. You can learn the skills. You can surround yourself with the people you need that have the answers, have the skills that you're lacking to get that piece of the puzzle in place. And you could be successful at anything that you believe you can be successful at.
Totally. I would agree that, there's almost like two levels to this. The base level, especially for those that are getting started, is kind of like all you need to get really started is you kind of have the desire, the faith in yourself, the imagination to believe it, the persistence to stick to it, and apply the auto suggestion to reinforce it. And if you have those those things right there, then you are on your way. Now the other pieces in there is sort of like once you've got those things going and you're on your way, kind of a thing. Then you can start bringing in those other things like focusing on your specialized knowledge and creating your organized plan. Being a decision maker. Doing all the other things that go along with that. You can start applying it first, but the basic core for anyone to get started, originally is really just like I said, just have that desire, the faith within yourself that you can do it, the imagination, to see it, and the persistence to stick with it and apply the auto suggestion to reinforce it. And you can take yourself anywhere you want to go. And like John was saying, when we first started out, I mean, how many extraordinarily expensive lessons did we learn in the beginning, John?
Oh, we got an education that costs us not out of pocket, just in profits from deals, I guess you can say, because it probably costs us tens of thousands. We've learned very costly mistake, tens of thousands of dollars. But you know what? We didn't give up when we made those mistakes. You know what? And at the time, I don't even think we realized we were making a lot of the mistakes that we were making. Or you know what it was? It's you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of our, I guess you could call mistakes or setbacks, really were just inexperience. So, you pay for inexperience by maybe a deal that you structured. You make $5,000, where if you kind of had more experience, you could have made $20,000 on the deal. Those type of mistakes. Also, understanding,
or maybe a clause in a contract that for whatever reason somehow gets rejected, and you don't get that deal at all.
Yeah, and that's happened. So, wholesale real estate is a fun business, a great business. I just want to relate this back to that. It's like, you want to get into this business with people that know what they're doing. People should be out there looking for mentors, being part of masterminds. That was one of the things Paul just talked about, is and I will define what the mastermind is real quick. It's just connecting with people and talking about something using your imagination to get a lot of people's brain energy in one place, focused on the same vision or goal. So new ideas crop up and thoughts, ideas and actions and plans come almost out of nowhere, that if you had just been sitting there thinking about these things by yourself, you would have never come up with. But when you combine people, the results can be extraordinary. So, this is a business, and I'm just kind of relating all this stuff back to what this is about, this business. It's, you got to be willing to kind of connect with people, and you want to have a mentor, believing in yourself, persistence, all the personal development goes along with it. But it's using all these things really to build confidence in yourself, so you can go out there and confidently connect with people. Because one of the things I feel is lacking in a lot of new people beginning in this business is they don't know all the how-to. So they lack a little bit of confidence. But when you have mentors or a team that know the how-to and that are kind of guiding you, you get over worrying about all those nitpicky little pieces. You just go out there and kind of follow, the advice of a mentor, so to speak. And then I want to just fall back on one thing that you mentioned, Paul, earlier about auto-suggestion. And I want to just relay how important actually auto-suggestion is. I only started doing this myself personally.
This is what John was talking about right here.
Yep. Real estate equals real relationships. So
go ahead. I just had to throw that up there.
I like that. Well, I just wanted to kind of expand on auto suggestion as something that is an active way that you can actively participate. You can actively participate in your own growth. You can literally plant seeds in your mind, fertilize those seeds, and that helps to become what you're looking to become. All auto suggestion is meant, saying verbally out loud phrases or affirmations about yourself and who you want to be. And I can't stress how much that has actually helped me. To this day, I still repeat these phrases just now, like with unconscious confidence in my head every time I go and approach a seller. Because I'm kind of losing my train of thought. I apologize. One of the affirmations that I used to do back in the beginning, like 3 years ago, and Paul and I kind of 4 years ago, maybe now at this point, set off on this journey. And I learned this from the mentor who hosts the morning call. Is he says, prospecting is sharing, and I am never afraid to share. So that was one of my auto suggestions, because I was very timid at first to call sellers on the phone or knock on a seller's door or make my offers, because I felt like, if I lowball them, I might make them mad. All these different reasons why. And when I started programming my mind that, okay, a seller is a prospect for my business and I'm prospecting. And one of the key things to your business is that you're always out prospecting, finding new sellers or finding new buyers if you're on the sales side of things. So if you program your mind, and this is against what so many people feel about salespeople, that I'm not selling anything to prospects. I'm not pushing prospects into something. I'm out there sharing, because, I'm out there sharing our product and service, and sharing implies helping. So just, that's what I'm trying to relay. The message of auto suggestion is that you can literally use it as a tool to program your mind to think how you want to think about anything and how you want to act and how you want to be.
Yeah, that's really powerful stuff, because, and that is a great affirmation there, that prospecting is sharing, and I'm never afraid to share, because that's exactly the problem that is prevalent in the whole syndrome right there, is because all those things that John was saying right there, all those other thoughts that come into your head about, where you're going to with this person that you're about to talk to. But if you're continually saying that right there, prospecting is sharing, and I am never afraid to share, and all I'm doing here on this phone call or talking to this person, sitting down with this person, is I am here to share information that may be helpful to them. And if they like it, we'll be able to do something. And if they don't like it, I'll go share my information with somebody else. And that's all it comes down to. So if you're just sharing information with somebody, you're not doing that nasty old selling thing. You're just sharing information with someone, and, you're enlightening someone to, a better way, or just another way, or something different, something unique, something that they themselves didn't know. So you're, like John said, within everybody, we don't know what we don't know. And, a lot of people don't know a lot of stuff. So if you're the person who can share with somebody something that they don't know, and position yourself as the, person of authority who knows this information, then that can go a long way in, in building that that sort of that like, and that knowingness, and that trust feeling within them, which is what we talk about before all the time too, is building those three things within somebody to want to do business with you. And just the whole idea of you just going in there saying, hey, I'm here to share some new information with you, and that you may or may not know about already, and here's my information. Whether you like it or not, that's it. This is, kind of a thing. And, you can easily accept a person saying, well, that's great information. I appreciate you sharing it with me, but I'm not interested. Okay, great. Well, I just shared some information with you. They're not interested in my information. I'll just go share it with somebody else. It's an easy way to beat down the fear of rejection as well, too.
Absolutely. I apologize, Paul. It's a little hard for me to hear you. Not your fault. Still trying to figure out how to use my phone for these Hangouts. But so I only caught a little bit of what you said. But I hope I'm on track with it. And just seeing that it's 9 o'clock, I just kind of want to sum up that I think this was an awesome Hangout, that if anybody's coming in late or you've watched the whole thing, I think you should really go back and at least the first 15 minutes there where, you laid out what was discussed on our morning call, all these different elements that you want to incorporate into the role that you want to go out and play in the business world are so critically important to really being successful out there. And one thing I do want to point out about all of this that we're talking about is that there's no such thing as a true blue overnight success. Nothing ever happens overnight. Like, you're not going to make the decision today that you're going to start wholesale real estate and you're going to have $1 million in the bank tomorrow. But you know what? It's a process. And if you go through it, you continue to believe in yourself, you stay persistent, learn from your mistakes, get up after each fall down, continue to learn and continue to grow. It could be 3, 4, 5 years. In Paul and I's case, we started this in January 2012. And I really feel like going into 2016, so 12, 13, 14, all of 15, 4 years, 5 years, we'll be waking up one day in the next 3 months and we'll be like, man, it took 5 years to become an overnight success. And because it takes time to build it. But if you stay persistent, it's literally one day you wake up and you realize, wow, I can't believe how much change has actually occurred from where I started on this journey X amount of years ago. And in our case, I wake up some mornings and it's unbelievable to me that, wow, we have 13 deals in escrow. I can remember 3 years ago where we closed the deal. We made a good chunk of money. We thought we were on top of the world. And 3 months went by. All the money was gone into poor systems, poor advertising, poor marketing, and we didn't have another deal. And we're sitting there going on the edge of our seats going, how are we going to make money to keep this business alive? And boom, we'd get a deal. Think we're on top of the world again. And a couple more months would go by without a deal. But you know what? We stuck to it. We never gave up, and we learned from our mistakes, what we were doing wrong, so we can change the program and do what it takes to get these deals in. And that's because we applied all these things that Paul talked about throughout this Hangout. And we've applied the things that I talked about during this Hangout, and they made all the difference in the world. So that's kind of my final thought here today. Paul, why don't you go ahead and take us out?
Yeah, how about from 3 deals and $36,000 in profit in an entire year to 25 deals, $2,160,000 worth of real estate, having purchased for $788,000 and resold for $1.282 million, leaving $878,000 on the table for the buyers. So, there's plenty of meat on the bone there, and over $500,000 in profit in just 5 months. So there you go. It's not an overnight success. What'd you say? Darn near going into the 5th year here. And there you go. There's the difference. It's persistence. It's all these things that you have to grow into becoming. And yeah, definitely persistence. And with that, everybody, oh, universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to create better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire, which is successful wholesale real estating adventurism. All right, everybody, have a great climax. We'll see you back here on the best day of the session, New Op Day, and that'll be I don't know, it'll be an exciting day. So we'll see. I'll talk to you then about how to win friends and influence people.
Excellent.
All part of this right here. All right, buddy.
And let us know what chapter we're on.
We are actually starting chapter 3. I think I finished that out last session.
Excellent. I'm going to have to go back and catch up and watch Paul's prior sessions for the last couple new op days to get caught up in the book. And I'll see you back here new op morning as well, or new op day rising. Happy